Alright guys, it's currently February 2025 and we've seen almost every manufacturer launch their own flagships. But something really interesting that I found is that a lot of you guys are commenting on my videos, like asking how the X200 Pro actually still stacks up to date. Now, as you all know, this device here is powered by the Dimensity 9400 by MediaTek. It's an all big core structure chipset and everything on it just runs very well. But let's take another quick revisit on the X200 Pro and see how it really stands today. Let's begin the video right away. Now, first things first, of course, we have to talk a bit about the design since it's something that's very important as well. What I like about the phone itself is that it still remains very understated. I like the fact that we have this colorway in grey, which is still my personal favorite color. Yes, it's a bit heavy on the top and that's because of that huge camera. So the balance is sometimes a little bit off, but I didn't find that particularly too much of a deal breaker, I would say. And overall, just in terms of the design, I still think it's one of the very easily identified phones of 2025. But once you see this kind of thing, you'll know that it's a Vivo device. Now moving on to the display at the front. Now what I find on other flagship phones, even the iPhone for that matter, is that after using it outdoors for a short period of time, typically the phone starts to heat up and the display itself dims down to a very low level to the point where you sometimes can't even see the display. Now for the X200 Pro, it actually held up very well, even though I was taking a lot of photos outdoors, using the phone extensively, but still the display held up to its maximum brightness and you could actually just still continue using it like a normal device. Now just to give you a quick recap, the display itself is a 6.78 inch unit. It goes all the way up to 4500 nits of maximum brightness, so you don't have to worry about not being able to see the display outdoors because that doesn't happen on the X200 Pro. Now another very tiny detail that I want to highlight once more on the X200 Pro is the displays. Very tiny little bezel on the sides. Now it's only very slightly curved at the bezel itself and this makes the display looks as if it is floating, and it's very nice because it just gives you a very comfortable slide when you glide across the UI itself, when you're going back. And overall, I think this is just a fantastic display, obviously one of the best that you can find on any Vivo device today. Now moving on, let's talk a little bit about the performance. Whenever we talk about Vivo's phones, we always talk about the cameras, but we forget about how strong it is really when it comes to gaming. Now again, don't forget that this device is powered by the Dimensity 9400 chipset, which puts it at sometimes even stronger than the Snapdragon counterpart. And when it just comes to gaming, I find that the device itself actually gives a very good balance between performance and the battery life. Now this is all thanks to MediaTek's Hyper Engine that's already built in, and when you pair it together with MediaTek's GPU and NPUs, overall the entire experience is just buttery smooth, not just in terms of your gaming but also in terms of your day-to-day navigating throughout the entire user interface. So I was playing all my games on here for very long periods of time. I've been gaming so much of late because of Chinese New Year, and I noticed that not only did the phone did not heat up that much, but it also did not eat a lot of my battery life. At the end of the day, you can expect the performance coming off the Vivo X200 Pro to be definitely up there with all the other flagships that are currently in the market right now. Now moving on to my favorite part of the device, let's talk a bit about the cameras. Now the camera on the Vivo X200 Pro, as many of you already know, is one of the best, if not the best, in the market today. And this is due to the deep collaboration and fine-tuning between MediaTek and Vivo that allows the phone and the chip's ISP to integrate really well. Pictures coming off the Vivo X200 Pro just looks very aesthetic. Again, it's great that you have the option to choose natural looking photos or pictures that look a little bit more saturated because it gives you, the user, the final say in the kind of photo that you wish to have. Moving on, in terms of just the zoom, it's also still a very good zoom camera, although it doesn't come with a lot of AI features in that area. But one thing I like here is that because of that chipset, everything is just happening very quickly. Like just hitting on the shutter button itself is so quick and you won't have to worry about missing any shots during the process. Now moving on, we must not forget that we have that T-star coating at the back here, and again this is going to help with all those lens flares. If you are someone who likes to take photos at night, or maybe if you just like to play around with photography with light sources, you don't have to worry about the picture itself flaring up too much because of those lights that's distracting your lens. Furthermore, I've also been taking quite a fair bit of night photos as well, and you can see each of these night photos comes out very well. There's very minimal amount of noise, you can still see a lot of detail. Anyways, here's a couple more photos taken on the Vivo X200 Pro. Again, none of these photos are edited and everything is straight out of the camera, so what you see is what you will get with the phone itself. Now finally, when it comes to the battery life, what we have here is the 6000 mAh battery that supports 90-watt fast charge. Again, like I said, with the chipset on board, it helps to balance the performance and the battery life. So it's very optimized to give you battery life of about 1.5 days on a normal use. If you are really light on usage, you might even extend it up to 2 days, but if you are super heavy on usage, you'll definitely still be able to pull through from day all the way till night. So the battery life on here is still very strong. Now ultimately, how I would sum up the Vivo X200 Pro is that it still definitely should should be one of your top picks when it comes to getting a flagship in 2025. Not only do we have those stellar cameras at the back, which all of you already know, but it also comes with a Dimensity 9400 chipset, that all-big core architecture that really gives it a lot of performance. It's the strongest processor to ever come out of MediaTek, and you can expect it to really shine in terms of your gaming as well as your day-to-day. So yeah, let me know what you think about the vivo X200 Pro. Is this also something like your dream device? Is this something that you plan to get? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.